The debate over whether to bench Geno Smith has completely taken over Raider Nation. Every show, every fan forum, every sports radio segment seems to circle back to the same burning question. Is it finally time to move on? But here's the truth that no one really wants to accept. Geno Smith isn't going anywhere. At least not yet. As the Raiders prepare to take on the Tennessee Titans this Sunday at Allegiant Stadium, the stakes couldn't be higher. Both teams sit at 1-4, but while their records may look identical on paper, the reality behind them couldn't be more different. In Tennessee, there's hope. The kind that only comes when you find a young quarterback who looks like the future. The Titans are coming off a wild, improbable victory over the Arizona Cardinals, a game that shouldn't have been winnable but somehow was. It was messy, unpredictable, and full of mistakes, yet they found a way to win. Rookie quarterback Cam Ward is showing flashes of the player they've been waiting for, fearless, dynamic, and willing to take risks. The Titans know it won't all be pretty. They expect the growing pains, the turnovers, and the chaos that comes with breaking in a franchise quarterback. But beneath all of that, there's a foundation forming. You can feel the belief building in that locker room. They know the direction they're heading in, even if the road is bumpy. In Las Vegas, though, things feel heavier. The Raiders also sit at 1-4, but it's not the same story. Their one win feels like a distant memory, buried under a pile of frustrations, blown leads, and unforced errors. The optimism that surrounded Pete Carroll's arrival has started to crack. This was supposed to be a gritty, competitive team that fought every down. Instead, it looks like a team caught in confusion, searching for its identity while the season slips away. And the central issue, the one no one can avoid, is Geno Smith. Through 5 games, Geno has thrown 9 interceptions, more than anyone else in the league. He was supposed to be the steady veteran presence, the calming voice in the huddle, the quarterback who could finally stabilize a position that's been in flux for years. Instead, his play has been erratic, impatient, and at times downright reckless. He's forcing throws into double coverage, staring down receivers, and making rookie-level mistakes that simply can't happen from a quarterback in his position. What makes it worse is that Geno says all the right things. Every week, he steps up to the podium, takes accountability, and promises improvement. He talks about film study, about making smarter reads, about understanding the game better. But when Sunday comes, those words vanish. The same bad habits reappear, the same throws end up in the wrong hands, and the same look of frustration paints his face by the third quarter. It's becoming a pattern that's impossible to ignore. Now, the whispers about Kenny Pickett have started to surface. Whispers that grow louder each week Geno struggles. No one is pretending Pickett is the savior. He's been inconsistent throughout his career and hasn't shown the kind of spark that transforms an offense overnight. But when the fan base begins to believe that the backup might not be any worse than the starter, you're officially in crisis mode. Pete Carroll knows it too. The Raiders' bye week looms right after Week 7, and if Geno keeps turning the ball over at this pace, that break in the schedule could force Carroll's hand. He didn't come to Vegas to juggle quarterbacks or patch holes mid-season, but at some point, the numbers make the decision for you. The Raiders are sitting at -6 in turnover differential, second worst in the league. You can't win in the NFL when you keep giving the ball away. Every interception kills momentum, demoralizes the defense, and shortens the game. Geno's mistakes aren't isolated. They ripple through every part of the team. That's what separates the Raiders from the Titans right now. Tennessee's rookie Cam Ward makes mistakes too, but they're the kind of errors that come from learning. There's a difference between inexperience and carelessness. Ward's interceptions are often the result of trying to make a play, not failing to read a defense. His teammates know that. They can see the growth underneath the miscues. With Geno, though, it's hard to tell if there's any growth left to see. On defense, both teams have game wreckers, players who can flip an entire game in a single series. For Tennessee, it's Jeffrey Simmons, a defensive monster who's been playing like a Defensive Player of the Year candidate through 5 weeks. His power, his burst, his ability to blow up plays before they develop. It's a nightmare scenario for any offensive line, especially one as unstable as the Raiders. With Colton Miller sidelined on injured reserve, the Raiders are already experimenting with their 3rd offensive line combination of the season. Jordan Meredith is trying to learn the center position on the fly, and the struggles are obvious. When you've got a force like Simmons lined up across from you, that's a terrifying proposition. The Raiders' interior will have to find a way to slow him down. Dylan Parham has been decent, but not dominant. Rookie Jackson Powers-Johnson brings toughness and raw aggression, but even that might not be enough to neutralize Simmons one-on-one. Expect the Raiders to lean heavily on the run game. Outside sweeps, jet motions, anything that moves the ball away from the middle and minimizes Simmons' impact. Running back Ashton Jeanty could play a big role in trying to exploit the edges, using his speed and shiftiness to avoid the chaos inside. On the other side, the Titans have their own problem to solve, and his name is Max Crosby. The man known as Mad Max has been nothing short of spectacular this season. He's not just a pass rusher anymore. He's an all-around defensive weapon. He's dropping into coverage, swatting passes, even snagging interceptions. His motor never stops. Every snap, he's coming, and if you lose track of him for even a second, he'll blow up your play before it begins. The Titans' offensive line has been inconsistent. Their young tackle, J.C. Latham, has been injured for most of the season, and his absence has been felt. Backup Jalen Duncan has had flashes, but he's not ready to face a player like Crosby. Few are. If Latham returns this week, the battle between him and Crosby could be one of the best matchups of the weekend. But if he doesn't, it could spell disaster for Cam Ward and Tennessee's offense. Both teams enter Sunday desperate for a win, but they're not desperate in the same way. The Titans are chasing progress, trying to prove that their rebuild has direction. The Raiders, meanwhile, are fighting to prove they're not unraveling. The difference between those two mindsets can define a season. Tennessee feels like they're climbing. Las Vegas feels like they're slipping. This game, more than anything, is about identity. The Titans know who they are, young, raw, but hungry. The Raiders are still searching, still hoping that the team they built in the offseason will finally show up. Pete Carroll has the experience to right the ship, but he's running out of time to convince this roster to buy in. Geno Smith has the talent to turn it around, but he's also running out of chances to prove he can be trusted. Sunday at Allegiant Stadium isn't just another week on the schedule. It's a crossroads. Either the Raiders finally find their footing and silence the critics, or the questions about their leadership and their quarterback will only get louder. For one team, this could be the start of a comeback story. For the other, it might be the moment everything comes undone. So, Raider Nation, what do you think? Is it time to move on from Geno Smith, or does he still have one more chance to prove himself? Can Pete Carroll's vision for this team finally take shape, or are we watching another season slip away before our eyes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.